Hello and welcome to Business Matters, the show about people behind businesses that help make Tacoma a great place to live and work. I'm your host, Mike Wark, and today my guest is Laura Malcom, owner of Give InKind. Welcome, Laura.
Thanks. So happy to be here.
So great to have you here and to hear about your business. First of all, another woman entrepreneur-owned business in Tacoma, proud to be so, and a great story. But also your website is just phenomenal. Tell us about your business.
Thank you. So Give InKind is a social platform for coordinating support through what we call major life disruptions.
Right. So if I have a family member who has cancer and I'm so caught up with that and everyone's asking me, what can I do?
Yeah, I mean, cancer support, just a new baby, postpartum support. Anybody who lands in the hospital unexpectedly, we've lost a loved one, we have a family member who's deployed, we're coordinating support for an aging loved one. So anytime you have people coming together to try and figure out how best to help, especially whether it's neighbors next door or our family across the country. So Give InKind is a single platform where they can coordinate that support.
So I'm in this situation, and I've seen this. People try and figure out, how can I let people know what we need? And you've designed a website that makes that super easy, because you know all the things that they might need.
Yeah, well, what we find is that, so all the things that people may need is a big number of items, but every situation is really different. And so what we found was that people were having to use different websites. One place to coordinate meal drop-offs, for example. One place to get donations through crowdfunding. One place to make a wish list and say, here are the things that we might need. And I thought that seemed really disjointed. So we should put it all together in one place. So on Give InKind, you have what we call a care calendar. So people can sign up for meal drop-offs, pet care, child care, transportation. They can also build a wish list. So sometimes we need things during those times that it's not money, right? Money doesn't solve everything. Sometimes it's really important, but sometimes we know that we need grocery gift cards or gas gift cards. If we have a family member that's in the hospital in Seattle, we're driving back and forth every day. That's a lot.
It starts to add up.
Yeah, so we put it all together in one place. So we have a calendar, crowdfunding, and wish list.
And I noticed that for your calendar, even if you have a dog at home that needs walking, that's something people can sign up to do. That would be a tremendous relief if you were in the hospital with a loved one and the dogs were back at home.
It's not just a relief. We have a doctor who spoke to us on Give InKind and talked about the fact, an emergency room doctor in rural New York, and he said that he signs elderly patients out of the hospital against medical advice every day because there's no one there to take care of their pets.
Oh my gosh.
It's a real issue.
Wow.
So it's those little tasks that really would communities want to come together and people say, how can I help? And sometimes it's dropping off dinner, but sometimes it's getting a ride to the doctor because somebody is sick and needs to go back and forth from the hospital, and we don't all have communities that are spouses, partners, family members who can drive us every day because people are working, and so it's just a great way to divvy up the support.
So I wouldn't be sitting around thinking, what kind of business could I start, and probably come up with this idea. And I've learned that a lot of great entrepreneurs develop ideas from personal experiences and have an aha. So what is the founding story? How did you come to this realization that there's a need?
Yeah, absolutely. So, for better or worse, I'm somebody who's experienced a lot of these situations in my life. And so I actually transitioned. I'm a native Tacoman, so I graduated from Charles Wright, went to UW. But then right after I graduated from college, I actually didn't even know that I was going to work in technology. But my father passed away.
Oh my gosh.
He was 50 and I was 23, and
so young.
He was too young. And we had been working, I had not been working in technology. I was a nanny, my brother was a teacher, and wouldn't you know, within a year of our father's passing, we had both started working in technology. So I worked the next 10 years in tech, and then unfortunately experienced the unexpected loss of my first daughter when I was 8 months pregnant.
Oh my gosh.
So stillbirth is a thing that happens to people. I didn't know that. And really, it's not talked about enough. So our friends and family around the country didn't know how to respond. As I said, my family was here in Seattle, but we were living in Los Angeles at the time, and my husband's family was in New York.
Wow.
So everybody tried to figure out how best they could help us from around the country, and they signed up. Somebody created a meal calendar for us, and people jumped in to sign up, but then they were trying to figure out where can we order delivery? Where do you need takeout from? Who can we send groceries? What's the best thing to send? What should we say? How do we respond in this situation? And I just knew that there was a better web solution that could be built to solve that problem.
The stories like this fascinate me because here you are experiencing this, but I can just imagine, because of your tech background and the way that you look at problems and solutions, that your brain probably started to assemble all these different things and put them together.
It did it immediately. I actually have I share a photo quite often of my notebook. And I was about 5 days after our loss, and I hadn't actually spoken out loud to anyone yet, but I was furiously drawing this better solution because I knew that our friends and family were struggling to help us. And, they responded the way so many of us do, which is we have this, this photo of this wall of flowers in our living room. And it was beautiful, but they also kept saying, we don't know how else. We don't know how else to help, especially from far away. And so it's, there are tools that make it easy for us to help in these ways for our neighbors in our community, our church community, our school community. It's really common to set up, these meal calendars and dinner drop-offs when someone has a baby or someone's recovering. But our communities tend to be spread out now too.
And this brings them all together.
Yeah, allows anyone to help from anywhere.
This all sounds great, and I have this idea, but it costs money. But there again, you have a great story. Tell us about the Female Founder Alliance and your experience with Ready, Set, Raise, because I think that's an amazing story.
Yeah, so we participated in October. Well, first of all, so it took about 3.5 years of us actually funding Give InKind ourselves.
Okay, so it started just on your own.
Hiring developers started on our own. Yeah.
You're in Tacoma at the time, or were you in LA?
Yeah, no, we were in LA when we came up with the idea, but we needed to hire a development team, and we needed to do it affordably. So we packed up our then 18-month-old son, and we hired a development team in Thailand.
Oh my gosh.
And we caught a plane, having never traveled in Asia anywhere, and we stayed there for 3 months, and we built the first version of Give InKind.
What an adventure. And that's
a big adventure.
Some confidence in your idea.
Absolutely. Yes, my husband is a designer, a web designer. So together we knew that we could do this. We just needed some development support, and we needed to do it cheap. We sold our house. We went all in on building Give InKind.
You're probably ready to make a break, start something new and exciting.
Yeah.
And here you are in Thailand.
Yep. So we did that, but then we came back to Tacoma. So it was time to return to Tacoma. I wanted to build my company here. I wanted to raise my family here. I'm from here, and it was time to return and get the support of our family. My mom's
family
here,
support.
and
I've heard this happens.
We were going to need that.
Yeah, I know people at the Institute of Technology now, the School of Engineering and Technology at UW Tacoma, who said, we're going to have them learn here. They're going to go elsewhere, but a lot of them will come back. And you're proof of that, which is really cool.
So we did. So then we spent the next 2 years testing Give InKind. And then it was time to take it to the next phase and come out of what we call the beta version and be ready to market it and really have the impact that we have now. So then I participated in the Ready, Set, Raise Accelerator with the Female Founders Alliance.
Which is a big conference with hundreds of people and all kinds of funders from.
Well, it culminated in a demo night, a pitch night.
Okay.
So it was 6 weeks of really hard work, remote with an incredible group of other female founders from around the country, and they helped us really just polish our investor pitch.
Okay.
We'd taken in a little bit of investment. I'm proud to say that both of our first 2 investors are based here in Tacoma.
That's
so
great.
There is an ecosystem that is growing here. And then we were kind of ready to put our big girl pants on and went to Seattle and pitched to about 300 people at the Science Center.
And $1.5 million later, you're on your way.
And $1.5 million later,
with
we're
funders
growing a company here.
Yeah, just amazing. And some of the big companies, the Madrona Group.
Yeah, the Madrona Venture Group, Trilogy partners in Seattle, so all in Seattle. And Alliance of Angels.
Funding you here.
There's some members here.
And you've been featured in GeekWire today, King 5, all this success. So just real quickly, how do you make your money from this to keep you going?
Yeah, it's a completely free platform to our users.
Right.
We get revenue from the gifts or items that are sent off of the site.
I see.
So we also sell a lot of people really like, some people just, they want to help quickly, right? And so we sell a gift box on the site that is curated here in Tacoma, built at the Pioneer Collective.
Wonderful.
So we do sell those and make some money there. Mostly it's a little bit of revenue share off of the transactions on the site, but the platform is totally free, and people, to do the crowdfunding, they connect their PayPal or their GoFundMe accounts, and so we don't take any extra fees on that either.
That's so cool. I'm so glad to know that this, first of all, that this resource is there, because I can see how it helps so many people. I'm sure you have stories about how it's helping people.
So many. I mean, everybody from, and stories here in Tacoma, you know, families with new babies is the most common situation. Actually, more than 25% of Give InKind pages are set up to help families with new babies through the postpartum period. I think that we're paying a little bit more attention these days to the fact that, like, we don't just need pacifiers and blankets, we need real help, like hot meals and someone to walk the dog. And, you know, especially when we're on, you know, with my first kid, I needed things. And with my second kid, I needed help.
Right.
I needed somebody to, you know, take my older kid to the park
and
so that I could spend a little more time.
And people want to know how to do that substantive support. And so it's gratifying all the way around. It's just a great business model. So I'm thrilled to know this is coming out of Tacoma and that you're here as part of the community, attracting other people. I know this is the start for female-owned businesses and other entrepreneurs to come set up here. It's just a great place to do business.
Thank you. I agree.
Thank you, Laura, for being the guest today on Business Matters.